George, GL, on the big screen, what do you think?
Well, it honestly, it brought me back to a time period in my life, or in all of our lives, really, before 9/11 and the whole gas crisis, and SUVs were becoming popular. I wish I had one of those.
Why is that?
Well, to drive it through the holes in the plot of this terrible film. Put $50 into the writing.
You know, I think the problem is this is one of the greatest superheroes ever created. This version.
Why? Because he involves pure imagination?
It's a science fiction concept, and instead of making a science fiction movie, they've done, I think, a generic action movie, and they've peppered it with the science fiction. And the plot is so confusing. They're trying to have 3 parallel storylines, and it's so badly intercut together that even in the middle of him learning to use his ring, they're introducing Hector Hammond. In the middle of him learning the oath, they're cutting over to it's horrible.
There's no question that they tried to cram far too much into it. I think the real problem was he had the girl at the beginning of the movie. He didn't have to go through all that to get her.
Oh, no, there's amateur examples of writing in this movie, but beyond that, they've just betrayed the spirit of the character. Sorry to say, DC has blown it for the second time now. They blew Superman, now they've blown Green Lantern. So.
Superman was really good, though.
Hey guys, here we are at the Palace Cinema in Windsor, Ontario. DC has premiered their newest superhero in a movie tonight. This is really their opportunity to build their stable, and we're here to find out if they did a good job or not. Let's find out from one of our Cinda friends, Kevin. Kevin?
Well, I didn't really like it. One good part of it, which was the whole space aspect of it. I liked how they were trying to show Oa, but the giant octopus Parallax was just not doing it for me.
Let's speak to Carolina.
Hey, Carolina.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Good to have you back, by the way.
Thanks.
Great. Okay, so how about this? Why don't you start by giving us something you really liked about the movie?
My favorite thing about the movie was Peter Sarsgaard's performance, especially as he was super creepy and had no personal boundaries. It was awesome.
What is something you didn't like about the movie?
Well, something that I didn't like about the movie was Blake Lively. She was terrible. I mean, she didn't even get naked, for Christ's sake.
What about the overall story? Like the overall depiction of Green Lantern?
I thought it was okay. I didn't really know anything about Green Lantern or the universe, and it was pretty okay. I kind of already knew what was going to happen, especially with one of the characters is named Sinestro.
What did that give it away? Like,
I would say it was a very bland average. I wouldn't say it was horrible. I wouldn't say it was great, but it definitely didn't impress me.
Was there anything good about it?
I actually kind of liked the Green Lantern costume. I thought that was done well.
Just for the record, that was completely inaccurate.
This was consistently bad. CG is nice. It all looks good, but we could do CG anywhere. How about a script? How about a story? And then do a movie. On the bad side, it was bad. On the good side, it was consistently bad.
But going into it, were you expecting it to be?
I was expecting it to be as hokey. Actually, not as hokey as it was. It was hokier than expected.
Producer G.I. Jolie, we're always trying to get you into different superheroes. Did this movie do a good job of making you want to read a Green Lantern comic book?
No.
No? Why not?
If I were just like a 10-year-old kid who'd never heard of Green Lantern, I guess this movie would have been sufficient. But that's unfortunate that maybe there is a 10-year-old child who's never heard of the Green Lantern, that this movie is all they're going to see. And that's what they're going to think the Green Lantern is. I think Ryan Reynolds was in his underwear a couple times. And like not just like boxer briefs, it was like tighty whities.
I have tighty whities on right now. But that's not important. So
I just wanted to say, oh my God, do I hate origin movies. I hate origin superhero movies. We spend 3/4 of the movie getting to the point when you say, oh, that's what he can do and that's what he does. And then literally, if this was a comic book, it was like 1 page of the comic was devoted to him defeating Parallax. I thought the best thing of the movie was the core. And what did you actually see of the core? A couple minutes of, wow, he looks cool. Oh, look who it is. Look who that is. And what did they do? They shot their rings up in the air.
We're going to go to everybody and ask them if they recommend this film to the general public or not.
No.
Heck no.
Yes, because bad movies can be hilarious too.
Maybe. Probably not.
Oh no!
Is there a character you've never worked on that you'd like to work on in the future? How about that?
Well, as far as very like on a specific book, I've touched on just about every major character in the DCU is the 16 years I've been with them. But yeah, every once in a while I think it'd be very fun to work on a Flash book or work on Wonder Woman would be a real hit.
I believe you did do Superman Beyond, right, with Grant Morrison?
Yep.
And how was that working with Grant Morrison?
It was great. I mean, I did work with Grant before on Seven Soldiers, Frankenstein, so it wasn't. I wasn't put in a position like, oh, all of a sudden I've never seen a Grant Morrison script before. They're great scripts. They're actually very entertaining to read. Grant likes to put a lot of, a lot of personality in every script and gives you a lot of detail. Sometimes a page worth of description or story that really he's just giving you information. It's nothing that shows up in the panel. He's just writing. So yeah, it's fun.
You're right, Mike. Let's talk to Caroline.
Carolina.
Caroline.